In the quiet shadows of twilight, a journey begins, not just of miles, but of heart and spirit. A man long tested by war, weary and aching, yearns for the place where his soul belongs. Yet unseen forces whisper and weave around him, complicating the road he so desperately wishes to travel. This tale unfolds under the title The Odyssey, an ancient Greek epic woven by Homer in the 8th century BCE. From the thunder of battlefields to the silence of home's embrace, it reveals a hero's unfinished journey, the trials he faces, and a destiny stretched between gods and mortal yearning. Odysseus, battered but unbroken, pushes forth from the ashes of conflict, longing for the shores of Ithaca. The salt wind carries both memory and prophecy, as the sea hides dangers both seen and unseen. Each wave murmurs a challenge, every horizon a promise veiled by the capricious will of the gods. The gods, fickle and mighty, intervene with whispered schemes and thundered commands. Their eyes watch the journey's every step, turning calm seas into storms and straightforward paths into labyrinths of despair. Home grows dimmer, like a star obscured by gathering clouds, just beyond reach, but burning with fierce clarity. Every island past hides shadows of the divine and manifestations of fate. Odysseus confronts enchantresses whose voices glide like honey but trap the heart in spells. His mind weaves clever escapes, for survival demands a dance between cunning and courage, where even the sharpest swords cannot cut a path alone. Loss clings tightly, marking men and days alike. Companions fall, swallowed by greed or folly, while the unyielding sea claims all who falter. Through it all, Odysseus carries the weight of remembrance, the faces of those he loves fading but never fully gone, as hope flickers like a stubborn flame amid the dark. Storm clouds gather not only in the skies, but in the spirit. Each trial tests more than flesh and bone. It probes the depths of will. The line between God and mortal blurs amid whispered prayers and wrathful curses, shaping a journey that is as much about endurance of spirit as it is about the distance traveled. In the solitude of night, Odysseus hears the call of home, soft as a lullaby, fierce as a battle cry. Fathers, sons, and wives, each name calling across the sea's vastness. The heart beats steady against the ocean's roar, a quiet defiance against the sprawling web of obstacles cast by distant, watchful eyes. Time stretches like the endless horizon, days folding into one another, soft sands slipping through restless fingers. The voyage is a long song of aching, a lament sung to the stars and seas alike. Every step forward is a victory shadowed by doubt and the looming weight of fate's uncertain design. Yet amidst the cruelty of gods and the vast loneliness of the sea, a spark endures within Odysseus. It is the flame of home, the unyielding beacon that no storm can fully extinguish. His eyes remain fixed beyond the horizon, where the promise of return glows steadily in the gathering dusk. The journey, though marked by struggle and loss, is also woven with moments of haunting beauty. Ephemeral islands bathed in golden light, winds carrying songs of ancient spirits. These fleeting glimpses offer balm to the weary heart, and whispers of what awaits if one dares to keep walking through shadows and storms. So Odysseus presses on, a solitary figure carved against the endless sea, caught between mortal yearning and divine will. Each step takes him further from war's ravages, but deeper into the mystery of home, where love waits, distant yet alive, lighting the way through the darkest nights and wildest tempests. Beneath the restless skies, shadows stir where monsters dwell, lurking beyond mortal sight. Odysseus, steadfast, faces temptations carved from ease, whispered promises that beckon like sirens' calls. Each path forked, every shortcut veiled in peril, tests his wit against darkness that hungers for the unwary. Fierce waves crash as cunning seals their traps. A monster's roar splits the night, while ancient spells weave snares of gold and silk. Odysseus walks a narrow line between destiny and doom, where every choice is a battle. Cleverness the sword that must carve his passage through relentless trials. In the valley where Cyclops dwell, one eye watches with brutal gaze, a giant strength bound in savage rage. Odysseus's mind sharpens under looming danger, plotting escape with threadbare hope. Here brute force meets wiles, and only the clever turn the tide where death waits hungrily at the door. The sirens sing their deadly song, voices dripping with honeyed lies that promise glory and rest. Yet Odysseus steels his senses, sealing his crew's ears with wax, binding himself to the mast, resisting sweet temptation's grasp. A silent battle unfolds, conquering the lure that would drag him forever beneath the waves. Through shadowed woods, haunted by enchantments and whispers, Odysseus treads cautiously. Illusions shimmer like heat on thirsty plains, where easy passage masks deeper traps. The journey twists, each step heavy with the weight of unseen eyes and the threat of lurking doom planted in the soil. The sea swirls with unseen teeth as Scylla prowls the jagged cliffs, a nightmare of six heads snapping with merciless hunger. Every beat of Odysseus's heart becomes a prayer, each breath a defiance. No strength alone can save him, only calm mastery, and the mind's sly dance keep death at bay. Charybdis churns the sea like a monstrous vortex swallowing all hope, a swirling abyss ready to drag any who dare too close. Odysseus steers the fragile ship between these godless jaws, balancing fate on a knife's edge. His soul a beacon flickering against the endless dark, clinging to old promises and dreams. Temptations rise like waves, wealth, comfort, escape from the endless road home. Yet Odysseus feels the fire within, a storm of memory and longing guiding every choice. No shortcut can claim him. The perilous path must be walked. Each trial steels his spirit, forging resolve beneath the burden of relentless night. Night falls cold as Odysseus's ship slips past dangers whispered in forgotten tongues, the breath of the past trailing like smoke. His mind weaves through the shifting illusions spun by gods and monsters alike. Each moment drips with suspense, every shadow a whispered threat, yet resolve burns steady within. With cunning and courage entwined, Odysseus faces down the monstrous terrors that stalk the wilds of fate. His voice is the calm in the storm, his steps measured against chaos. No fear breaks his spirit. Instead, he bends the very dangers toward his purpose, transforming peril into passage home. The weight of temptation presses hard, but yields to sharper wills. Odysseus sees through the veil of easy escapes, their shimmer a cruel mirage. Each denial a victory, each struggle a verse in his epic song of survival. The journey wears on, fierce and unforgiving, yet his mind remains a beacon undimmed. In the still, uneasy silence between storms, Odysseus gathers strength for the next trial. Every scar and story shaping a hero who outwits death's grasp. Monsters may roar and temptations call, but the Odyssey unfolds ever onward, a journey of craft, courage, and relentless hope beneath the boundless, restless skies. The relentless sea had claimed every companion, their voices swallowed by the endless waves. Odysseus, battered and broken, found himself swallowed whole by loneliness, stranded upon a distant shore. Yet in the depths of despair, a flicker of defiance burned within his soul, refusing to yield to the dark silence that surrounded him. Salt water clinging to skin like a second wound, Odysseus pulled himself from the crushing surf, each breath a testament to his iron will. The horizon lay vast and empty. No friendly ship nor familiar face remained. Alone, he grasped the fragile thread of hope, a solitary hum amidst the storm's final echoes. The sun dipped low, casting long shadows over a shore unkind and wild. Every echo of laughter, every shout, dissolved into memory's haze as the wind whispered of loss. Yet through the pain, Odysseus's heart beat steady, a pulse that shattered the encroaching night, promising survival when all seemed lost. His hands dug into cold, jagged rocks as fatigue threatened to claim his spirit. But bound by the god's capricious weave, he rose with trembling limbs. Unseen forces tugged at his fate, urging him onward, beyond the horizon, where the whispers of home caressed his weary mind with fragile dreams. Each step bore the weight of shattered hopes, a fragile thread weaving through memories of faces and voices lost to the sea's cruel grasp. Yet Odysseus breathed deep the salty air, tasting the bitter resilience that only solitude could forge. Alone, yet unbroken, he charted a path defined by unyielding resolve. Night fell with a cold embrace, stars flickering distant like the last sparks of a dying fire. Odysseus lay beneath their indifferent gaze, wrapped in silence heavier than stone. Yet within that void, a defiant spark sparked anew, his spirit unbound, ignited by a promise to endure where others had fallen. The sea's roar had dulled to a distant murmur, but its memory pulsed in every heartbeat. The vast emptiness surrounding him was a mirror to loss and longing. Still, Odysseus stood, a lone silhouette against the dawn, his eyes fixed upon horizons unseen yet fiercely desired, a slow breath drawing in the dawn's promise. Waves crashed, relentless and tireless, yet his will was harder than polished stone. With every breath, he summoned strength from the depths of despair, kindling an ember that refused extinction. Here, where no footsteps followed, Odysseus embraced his solitude, crafting hope from the shards of a broken voyage. The wind carried whispers of forgotten gods, tales of heroes who rose alone from the abyss. Odysseus listened, drawing courage from ancient myths woven in the stars above. His journey was no longer marked by comrades, but by the unyielding fire within, a beacon guiding his soul through shadowed waters. With each passing moment, the horizon beckoned like a distant hymn, a call woven from loss and the promise of return. Odysseus, steadfast and somber, embraced the endless journey, his resolve a quiet storm against fate's cruel design. Alone, yet unshaken, he burned with the fierce light of a survivor's heart. The silence of the shore held both sorrow and strength, a testament to the trials etched upon his skin. Every scar bore memory of fallen friends, every breath a defiance against despair. Odysseus stood tall, his shadow long and unwavering, a lone warrior sculpted by the unfathomable depths of loss and hope. In the cold dawn, surrounded by endless sea and sky, Odysseus embraced the solitude as both curse and salvation. His journey would not end in silence, but in the fierce blaze of survival, a testament to the unyielding human spirit. Alone he stood, but unbroken, his story a song of resilience whispered across time's vast expanse. Home, once a sanctuary of love and laughter, now trembles beneath the heavy shadows of strangers. They feast, careless and cruel, as if the hearth's sacred flame belonged to them, not the absent master whose heart beats still beyond seas and storms. Silent as the falling dusk, a weary traveller steps into his own house. Cloaked in disguise, Odysseus surveys the ruin, the dishonour laid bare like cracked stone beneath a fading sun. His spirit burns quietly with a storm held tight, waiting for the perfect hour to reclaim what is lost. These unwelcome guests, bold and reckless, squander the sacred gifts meant for the loyal and true. They consume with greedy hands and loud laughter, deaf to whispers of gods and oaths, blind to the loss that grows like thorns beneath their careless feet. Odysseus, veiled in shadow and patience, moves through halls heavy with forgotten prayers and fractured trust. Every step, a silent vow, every glance, a measure of waiting wrath. The walls remember their lord, even if these strangers do not. The flicker of torchlight catches hardened faces, unaware of the king who watches, the rightful master gathering strength in silence. Beneath his humble guise, the quiet heartbeat of vengeance gathers, like storm clouds swelling across a brine-dark sky. Time stretches like a thread pulled tight. The patient man becomes a shadow within his own home, his presence unnoticed or dismissed. Each word exchanged by the suitors sharpens the blade of resolve deep within him. Outside, the night breathes secrets to the stars. Inside, the tension coils as the house waits for justice. Odysseus holds his silence, gathering the fragmented strength of years lost to the sea and sultry winds. He watches as they mock his throne and feast in his absence, unaware that beneath their feet the ground trembles with the promise of return. A quiet storm stirs, soft and deadly, waiting to reclaim not just a home, but honor itself. Each stolen bite, each careless boast feeds a fire within him that no exile could quench. The God-spun threads of fate pull tighter around the feet of those who dare defile a king's sanctuary. Odysseus's eyes, sharp and knowing, scan the room, counting, measuring, remembering. For now, patience shields him, a cloak woven of cunning and ancient purpose, until the day comes when silence breaks into thunder. The air hangs thick with the weight of unsaid things, plans born in shadows, justice whispered on the edge of night. For every insult endured, every trust betrayed, the household breathes the slow, steady pulse of reckoning yet to unfold. And so, disguised and unseen, Odysseus lingers on the threshold of his reclaimed destiny. The home, once drowned in dishonor, waits with bated breath for its king to rise again, for the veil to fall, and the true story to be told. In the shadowed halls where whispers weave, a silent figure stirs. Odysseus, long lost, steps forth cloaked in cunning and fire. The air hums with destiny as glimmers of home flicker in his eyes, a storm ready to break the tyrant's reign and reclaim what has been stolen. With unyielding heart, he reveals himself to the gathered kin, surprise and power shining fierce beneath the aged glow of hero's wisdom. The suitor's laughter falters, replaced by the tightening grasp of dread as ancient justice awakens, swift and sharp as the edge of Odysseus's blade. Arrows whisper deadly promises, singing through air thick with fate, striking true as the palace trembles beneath the tide of vengeance. Each breath drawn is steeped in the weight of years and honor restored, the suitors falling like shadows before the dawn of a rightful reign. Eurycleia, eyes brimming with tears, sees his scar and knows. The wanderer returns whole, a king reborn from trials unnumbered. The home breathes anew, warmed by truthful presence, the hearth alive with the pulse of promised peace, and the old god's favor shining softly on the renewed land. The suitor's threat dissolves into a whisper of night's passing, their boldness ground beneath the steady steps of courage long fostered. Walls once shadowed and silent, now echo laughter and song. The house of Odysseus blossoming once more beneath the quiet watch of Athena's gaze. Penelope, heart-guarded yet blossoming in secret hope, meets her husband's gaze. Years of longing woven deep between them. Words are few but whole, as recognition kindles a flame of reunion, weaving past and present into a tapestry where love and loyalty reign supreme. The air is thick with the scent of olive trees and sea breeze, whispers of home sweetened by victory's breath. Order, like a gentle tide, washes the bloodied floor, restoring calm as memories of loss bow beneath the weight of renewal, and the steadfast hands of a man returned. The palace, once a stage of chaos and shadows, is reborn into sanctuary, its walls humming with the quiet strength of those who cherish justice. The story of struggle folds into the night, promising peace not born of silence, but of courage and the sacred bonds of family. In the afterglow of battle, silence breathes between moments, each heavy with meaning, and the unspoken truth that home is forged by trials overcome. Odysseus, steady and resolute, stands as guardian and king, a beacon illuminating the path from chaos to order with enduring grace. The servants and children gather close, their faces lifted in awe and relief. The long night of uncertainty fades, replaced by the steady light of restored peace. Here, the promise of tomorrow takes root, nurtured by steadfast love and the solemn peace won through strife and sacrifice. Outside, the stars watch calmly above Ithaca's shores, ancient witnesses to the cycles of loss and return. The wind carries tales of heroism whispered by the sea, as the land itself breathes easier, cradled by the gentle hand of justice, cradled in the arms of a king at last come home. Thus, the saga folds gently into quietude, the echoes of battle softening beneath the cloak of gathering peace. Odysseus, reclaimed and remembered, walks the halls of his reborn kingdom, where peace and order reign eternal, a testament to endurance, love, and the undying light of home.